All right, we are back. This is the one and only OSB Sports Podcast Show. I'm Scott Matthews, obviously the host of the show. I'm going to be joined by my two co-hosts, but I got to talk about our guest today. Man, I'm jacked up. We have a tremendous guest on the show, one of OJ Simpson's best friends for years and confident, Charlie Elrich. My man, I've known Charlie a long time. Him and I have a great relationship. And he was nice enough to come on, and we're going to bring him on in a couple of minutes. But I want to start it off by introducing my co-host, the one and only CEO of the Sports Prophets, Teddy Brooks.
Glad to be here. Excited to talk about some hockey.
Were you around with OJ days, by the way?
I was
somewhat
on
the Vegas kind of thing, not way back when.
I was around way back.
You knew
when
the juice
too.
running loose?
Yeah, and
all right.
And I just want to throw a shout out because we might not really get a chance to talk about it, but I want to throw a shout out to our boy Barry who made some solid picks on that. Masters.
Barry, how about this guy? I picked the winner. There you go. No, I'm kidding. Barry picked 7 Americans.
Yeah.
Did he do well?
Listen, the long shots are just small little sprinkles, but his main plays were Tiger to make the cut and Scotty Scheffler to win. So
he was dead on.
There you go.
We got another tournament coming up.
25 in a row for Tiger to make the cut, right?
24, I think. We have another major coming up in a few weeks. Hopefully we can get him back on.
All right. Well, listen. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. The man that makes the plan happen over here at the OSB, the big kahuna, Tommy D. What's going on?
Well, listen, I'm excited, man. Because,
I know you're excited that Charlie's here.
Well, listen, we were around on the whole OJ situation. It shows you how many we're not.
I'm going to tell Charlie a funny story back in the day.
We're not puppies anymore, but there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, NBA, NHL playoffs. They just threw out that NBA player for life for betting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Crazy, actually.
I'll tell you, before we go to Charlie, because we're going to bring him on, because we appreciate, let me tell you something. He's so jammed up right now with people reaching out to him, and he gave us the pleasure even driving up here to our studios from down in Miami. So we really do appreciate that. We got the NBA playoffs kicking in. We got the NHL playoffs. We got baseball. But I want to bring on Charlie because, this is a topic that's been going on for decades. And who knows OJ better than a guy that was around them as a personal best friend for many years. So I want to welcome my man. I've known Charlie a long time. What's up, Charlie?
What's up, my man, Scotty?
Everything good?
All good, man. How you doing?
We're doing good, man. We appreciate you coming on. We really do.
Hey.
I mean, I know you were on CNN recently with Caitlin Collins. You got interviews by major news organizations. It's kind of crazy that, your attachment was obviously with OJ. I just wanted to get into it like everyone else would want to know. When did this relationship with you and OJ actually start off, and how'd you meet, and how many years ago was it?
I'd say about I knew him about 14 years.
Okay.
And we became friends.
Okay. And was it because he came into where you worked and stuff, or
well,
you just met him?
I run a
adult club,
an adult club in Miami,
gentlemen's club,
a gentlemen's club, a high-end gentlemen's club in North Miami, Dean's Gold, with the hottest women in the country.
I've been there in my single days.
Yes.
I was there once.
We're like the United Nations of adult clubs. All gorgeous women, all 8s and 9s, and a couple of 10s, but they're all gorgeous.
And I got to applaud you, the owner of your club. He's the best, man.
Oh, Dean?
He's the best.
No, Dean is the man. He is been there 25 years, and everybody loves Dean.
Tell us about your relationship with you and OJ. I mean, let our audience know, like, how, what'd you guys do? Did you guys, hang out a lot?
We hung out a lot, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we, went to dinners a lot. I knew his kids, Arnell, Sydney, Justin.
Right.
He was just a sweet guy. Loved people. Would
warm the cockles of your heart. I heard that he was a real schmoozer. People liked him.
But everyone loved him.
Yeah.
If we went out to dinner, anywhere we went, people, they came up to him. They wanted to hug him, and he was very personable. He loved people.
At one point, he was the most famous athlete in the world by far. I mean, Hertz running through the airports, the juice running loose. he had all the sportscaster, the whole, everything.
Yes. He had it all.
Monday Night Football.
He fell from grace real quick.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So, like, tell us, like, things about him, like the audience might want to know. I mean,
Well, I could tell you.
You knew him from the inside, not on the outside, like everyone else. You knew personal stuff.
People, they get this impression of, maybe, he was a mean person or he had a temper.
Right.
I could tell you a quick story. One afternoon, a friend of mine invited us on his 65-foot Sea Ray. Me, at the time, my girlfriend, OJ and Chrissy, and another couple. We stopped at like a Shooters. I forget. It wasn't a Shooters, but like a Shooters.
Okay.
But it was on the Intercoastal.
Right.
I'm wearing white. He's wearing white. And we sitting down having lunch. And there were 3 ladies at the bar, and they're drinking their wine. And, I always pay attention. OJ talks to everybody. He doesn't care. He's just friendly.
He was that type of guy.
Anyway, make a long story short, I knew something was going to happen because I could hear these ladies chirping, And this lady has a glass of red wine, and I see this is coming.
Right.
I see red wine all over me. Not yet, but it's coming. Anyway, she gets up, and she looks at OJ. But she hits me with the she hits me with the wine. Excuse my language.
Yeah, you got excited.
I get very excited. Anyway,
Ben, bleep that out, Ben.
Yeah, bleep that. Anyway, so she flips the wine, hits me, and hits OJ in the face. OJ gets a napkin, dabbles his face a little bit, and he says, "Thank you." And we get up and we leave.
Wow.
But this is just the type of personality he was. I've never seen him get mad at anyone. I've never seen him get angry at anyone. And trust me, I've been to a lot of, Thanksgivings at his house with his kids. And
I remember you telling me that. I used to go a lot.
Yeah, a lot. All the holidays.
So you were like real tight. I mean, you guys were like, in that
very
real tight loop together.
Very tight loop.
Let me ask you, Charlie. First of all, thank you for coming on the show. When he was out and about, how did people react to him? Did they want his autograph? Did anyone say anything derogatory?
Well, he got wine through on him.
But I'm saying, did he ever have issues out there, or were people generally nice to him?
Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody loved him. We went out.
He was a major celebrity. I mean,
people,
big time.
listen, but got to remember, he had that stigma coming from L.A. Now he's here in Miami. But regardless, people may talk underneath their breath, but they loved him as a person. And if I tell you, no matter where we were, it didn't make a difference if a guy's worth 2 cents for $10 million.
Right.
He was personable. He would talk to people. He would come to Dean's Gold 2-3 times a week. Everybody loved him, okay? He was just a very personable guy. My staff, the waitresses, and he would bring people to Dean's Gold all the time. I mean, that was his cheers, believe it or not. And from this day on, we have customers that have been coming for the last 20 some odd years that still come there, because Dean's Gold is a cheers.
Yeah, no, it's been around a long time.
Greatest club in the country.
Let me ask you, I mean, and not to jump around, but the crazy thing about 17 years ago with that whole Vegas thing, and you were right there in the huddle. I mean, you can't get any closer than the guy actually in the room.
Palace Station.
I mean, was that? I mean, obviously, I don't know if you knew what was going to happen or what was going on, but you went along for the ride. Can you tell us in like little details? Like, was that like a whole planned out situation? Like that whole Vegas.
I don't want to go too in detail because it's too long.
Right.
But I will tell you this: I went there for a wedding.
Okay. Right. I remember.
That was it. As far as the
wasn't
robbery,
one of his best friends getting married too?
Yes,
right.
A friend of his, a friend of mine,
right.
was getting married, and the day I flew in was the day he asked me to do a favor.
Right.
To see if.
So you didn't really know what was going on. You were just going along with the flow.
I knew nothing.
Right.
He asked me. He asked if I would do a favor.
Okay.
And
being a good friend.
Being a good friend, and to see if these individuals had his memorabilia.
Okay.
You got to remember that for years, he did a lot of signings. Memorabilia was his thing.
Yeah, sure. A lot of fake memorabilia his was out there too.
Yeah. But these two individuals apparently they had his stuff. You got to remember when he was locked up,
Right.
it was 2 years before his trial. His agent, I think Gilbert, he took a lot of his stuff, put it in storage.
Right.
But things were missing. All of a sudden, years later, it shows up. Memorabilia guys have it in Vegas.
Right.
And this is, he wanted me to be a buyer, just to see what was in the room.
Like an observer to see what's
Just
right.
to look at it, see if it was real or not real, what it was, come downstairs and tell him. And then
Now, were you the only one that went in as the buyer at the
No,
time? Or
no.
A bunch of people went in?
it was a fiasco.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody.
Okay.
It happened so quickly that
The other people in the mix, you didn't know
I
them.
didn't know anybody.
They were friends of his mainly.
They were all his friends.
Right.
So,
So you kind of just
yes,
went along and
I had no choice in the matter because once those doors were closed, guns were whipped out,
yeah,
and it got a little hairy,
yeah.
to say the least. To say the least.
I'm sure you got a little shock of your life in there too,
Well, yeah, kind
to
of.
say the least, right?
To say the least. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Well, I mean, listen, we don't have to go back to the L.A. situation. A court of law found him innocent. I think he got railroaded on that Vegas deal, without a doubt. To get all those years, kidnapping, armed robbery. I mean, listen, my opinion, I think they just railroaded
It
him.
was payback.
Yeah.
It was payback, but he was found innocent. So in theory, it's an innocent guy that now you're trying to pay back, court of law. But yeah, I think that judge in Vegas just threw the book at him, literally.
Well, we all knew that was one of the toughest judges in Nevada, right, Charlie?
She
She had a reputation as a hanging judge.
But I must say, she liked me.
She did, yeah. I heard that.
Not a bad looking woman either, actually. I mean, if you
How
wanna-
about the letters they were reading? The letters that you got on people's behalf written for you
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
read on the
Yeah, she was.
pretty cool.
Yeah, but in my opinion, OJ had bad representation. His lawyer didn't do him justice. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to disparage anybody. But OJ could have gotten a lot better deal if he was represented properly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think those attorneys were from Vegas, right? Those the
One
one-
was in Vegas
Right.
and one was from here.
Oh, he's here. Oh, that was.
Well, actually, yes. One was from Vegas,
Right,
one was
one
here,
was-
but both were here at one time.
right, right,
Grasso ended up being in Vegas.
right.
Which he's a nice guy.
Yep.
The other guy, I don't want to talk about.
We won't talk about him.
when was the last time you spoke with OJ?
Good question, Doc.
Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah, Tommy D.
I mean,
When we were when we were at trial.
Yeah.
That was the last time during commercial break.
and you mind saying what the conversation was?
I said to him, "They have you on tape. They got you, and they know everything." In other words,
No getting out of it.
there's no way you're going to get out
Didn't
of
his
this one.
attorneys know that, though? I mean, isn't evidence...
Like I said, I did a gag order. I wasn't allowed to speak with him. Nobody in the case, everyone couldn't speak to
Right.
individuals. But as he's my friend, and I want to give him heads up what I know, okay? And what I know is that, they had tapes on him, that the room was wired for sound.
Now, you
and-
heard those tapes yourself?
yes.
Right. So that's why you
Listen,
had to do what you had to do.
Listen, I never copped out. I went in my own separate trial, okay? These guys, they all got pinched that day, the next day. They couldn't find me for 2 weeks. I was on the cover of the New York Daily News. Do you know this guy? But that was okay, okay, because
Have
I
you
knew.
seen this
Well,
guy?
thank God you weren't wearing that T-shirt.
Well, I
they
wasn't
would have
wearing
found
that.
you.
No, I wasn't wearing that T-shirt. But
They would have found you that day.
But guess what? When I hired my attorney and I turned myself in, which was good, my thing was, I did someone a favor. I wanted my own trial. So my attorney paid him a lot of money, go to trial. I wanted to get severed from everybody else.
Right.
So for a year, made a petition, denied. 6 months later, petition, denied. 6 months later, petition, denied. So that was, by the third petition, the trial was going on in about 3 weeks. So that's where it was. So, I mean, it was just I wasn't about to go to trial with all these characters. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
I wanted my own trial because I went there to do somebody a favor.
Were you the only one that did that out of all the people?
Yes.
Or they all started doing it, some of those guys?
No, they all...
No?
They flipped the first 2 days.
Right.
They're a bunch of fucking rats.
Right.
Excuse my French.
That's okay.
Go ahead. What was your exact charge, Charlie, on that case?
Same thing.
Which was
Kidnapping,
Yeah,
you know.
he was in the room.
Got to remember, in Las Vegas, kidnapping is an automatic life sentence. You hold someone without, you know, if you hold someone there beyond their will, you know, in other words, if you hold them there, that's kidnapping. That's considered, especially with a weapon. These individuals, they had weapons, and I didn't know these individuals.
Yeah. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing.
Yes.
Not knowing that it was going to go down the way it went down.
And to be honest with you, what I know, OJ didn't expect this to happen. He knew these guys. He wanted get back. He wanted them to get scared. He invited these characters who were licensary pieces to look menacing, not to whip out the guns, maybe to flash, but these guys, they took it a step further,
Right.
and they whipped out the guns. That was the whole thing.
Right.
In my opinion, if OJ would have just said to his lawyer, I fucked up. I told these guys to bring pieces. I wanted them to look menacing. These guys stole my memorabilia. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I think the judge would have said, you know what? I'll give you 5 years maybe, and you'll do 2 inside. But when he said there were no guns involved,
Yeah.
that was his downfall. And his lawyer, in my opinion, fucked him.
Now I have a question. After OJ got out, you really hadn't communicated with him after that?
No.
Okay.
No. You know, live and let live.
Right.
You know, he knows deep down inside that I always loved him. I always looked after him. I'd always made sure that no one screwed with him in any which way. And when things go south, they go south, you know? And,
And you said the room was wired for sound, so it was almost like
it was a setup.
almost like entrapment. In a way.
Well,
I mean,
it was
why
a
didn't
it was a setup. This
Yeah.
guy Tom Riccio, he played it out. OG was going there. Was the best man for the wedding. Tom Scotto, may he rest in peace. He's dead too. I was there for a wedding. That was my intentions. The day I flew in is the day that he asked me
Right.
to do him a favor. Because in his mind, what he was telling me, that these memorabilia guys are going to be here for another day or so, excuse me, and they're going to leave and they're going to take my stuff, if it is my stuff. So all I want you to do, pretend you're an interested buyer, go up there, look at it, come down, and let me know what it is. If it's bullshit, you'll tell me it's bullshit, and we'll move on.
And so you haven't spoken to him in a long time. Were you aware that he was sick?
Yeah.
And how
yeah.
do you? Because it really wasn't a public thing at all.
No, but
He's got in a circle.
I had friends.
And
Yeah,
how
I had
long
friends
was
that
he
lived
sick
in Vegas. Probably for about a year.
Okay.
He was
but-
fighting it, yeah.
He was fighting it, and they were trying to keep it on the low.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to admit, we kept it good till the very end.
Yeah. No, I
No one
think it
knew.
blindsided
No,
everybody
No.
as far as the general.
You know,
public
one
goes.
beef I do have with you, though.
What's that?
In 1994, when this slow car chase was going on with OJ on the freeway, I was sitting in Bally's Sportsbook in Las Vegas. Shows you how long I've been betting sport. And they interrupted the Knicks-Houston finals game to put on the slow chase. In the sportsbook, every
Oh,
TV went to the slow chase. My money was riding on that game, and I don't know who was winning because I had no other way of checking
Did you
it.
have the right side at least?
I did have the right side of that particular
This
game.
was before you can check scores on your phone.
I mean,
Listen,
that was
listen.
30 years ago. today, like roughly this next month.
Listen, I got to say this. This guy over here, the best handicapper. When I say I'm into the horses, okay, but as far as sports, he's the man. And I've known Scotty over 25 years. I wouldn't have done this podcast for anybody else, but for this guy because he's a stand-up guy.
I appreciate that.
And he's a great handicapper in the sporting game.
Yeah.
If I ask him his opinion, and he doesn't charge me because he likes me, he'll always give me a winner.
Question, Charlie.
These guys aren't going to like that one.
No, but
well, I've known him a long time.
They're ready to throw you off the set. They're ready to throw you off, right?
Question I have, if you don't want to answer it, I respect it.
Oh, boy.
Did you ever either confront or discuss with OJ the situation in L.A.?
I don't want to go there.
All right, I respect that.
The man's gone.
Yeah.
Rest in
You know.
peace.
I have a question
rest in
for you.
peace.
Let's move on.
How about a different version of that question?
Okay.
Your thought on it, not asking him. What do you think?
What do I think?
Can you answer something like that?
I'll give you my opinion.
Your opinion.
People may not like it. May like it. I don't think he did it, and
Okay.
that's my opinion. And I'm not going to go anywhere with it. In my opinion, he was a dear friend.
Right.
I love the guy. I
gotta
loved
go.
him as a person. I loved him the way he loved his family. His kids loved him. And hey, listen.
What about Cato Kalin? Did you like that guy?
Fuck
Did you ever
that,
meet him?
Fuck that guy. He's a fucking jagoff.
Okay. Hey, we're getting the real. This is not the CNN interview with Caitlin Collins, that's for sure.
But there's
wow.
There's some stuff.
They would have been beeping that whole.
There's some stuff coming out now and
Oh, boy.
saying that there was other people involved. It was a mafia hit. It's been around for years.
You'll never know, though.
You'll never know. But I mean, there's going to be stuff coming out afterwards.
Yes.
And everyone has their own opinion.
Besides AJ, Charlie, do you have a really good story for the audience about maybe another, since this is a sports betting show,
Right.
about another athlete that you've interacted with, maybe has come to your club or frequented your club? Any good stories?
You know, I would like to say who, but the best part about Dean's Gold is anonymity.
Right.
We get celebrities all the time.
Right.
And if I made a list, you'd have to throw me in
Can't
jail.
put their names out there, right?
Yeah.
But they come in because they love the club. We treat them with respect, and no one knows who they are. They want to go and have fun like anybody else. But it's difficult because sometimes you're a celebrity, and you don't want to be harassed. You don't want to be in my club, or I'm not going to say my club that I run.
Well, you're running it.
Well, I run it. We treat celebrities like normal human beings, and we make sure that they have a good time, and no one bothers them. That's why they love Dean's Gold.
I don't blame you. When I used to love hanging out in places like that too. They don't bother you. You go with a guy like Charlie, treats you like a king, puts you in the VIP sections, keeps people away from you. You get to hear great music. It's fun.
But you had a relationship with an A-list actor. I mean, do you
Jimmy Caan.
Do you care to discuss that?
He was a dear friend, James Caan. Yes,
Yeah, he was one of the best.
Sonny Corleone. Are you kidding me?
No. He. I mean, we've been around with his
how
movies.
I know Jimmy, and I'll go real quick.
How about The Thief? The movie The Thief.
But Jimmy was Jimmy. That's his persona. Is the way that he was. His father and my father were partners in the meat business in New York.
Wow.
So I knew Jimmy when I was a little shit, okay? And Jimmy would drive the meat trucks. We had with the cows, they put the thing on the fucking thing, and he would drive to restaurants with the
Like in the Irishman.
Yeah, I guess yes. Anyway, and I'm a little pishka, he used to slap me around because I was a pain in the ass.
Guys in Iowa might not know what that means.
Well, but anyway,
all right.
yeah.
We'll have to make them figure it out.
Yeah.
But he was. I remember one evening, he was going to acting school. I think it was 16 or 17, maybe 17. And he loved my mother and couldn't stand my stepfather. My stepfather wasn't a very nice guy. Let me put it that way. He was one of these guys. He was a Jewish wise guy. But
Not you.
No. But anyway, so they went to see this. He's in an off-Broadway.
Did he know Maya Lansky?
Well, you asked me these fucking
I'm
anyway,
just kidding.
So he go. Now we were living in Manhattan, and they go to this off-Broadway show. So the next day, I said to my mother, I said, "How was Jimmy?" He was fantastic. And then my stepfather goes, "He sucks. He'll be working with me for 50 fucking years."
Wow.
So I mean, I'm just saying though. That's But Jimmy was a great guy, the sweetest guy in the world. His kids, I used to babysit. He used to make me babysit Scotty back when he was staying at Turnberry back in the day.
Oh yeah, son. Son turned out to be a nice actor.
Oh yeah.
Hawaii Five-0, a lot of roles he's got.
But and Junior Sirico was a very dear friend of mine from The Sopranos. I knew. Well,
Junior. You're going to come across a lot of people just being in the entertainment, kind of.
For
industry.
anyone who doesn't know, that's Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos.
Yeah, he was a very, very dear friend of mine.
He passed also recently.
He was young too.
Wow.
He had dementia, I believe.
In Fort Lauderdale, he passed.
Was the legitimate wise guy, though.
We had
a restaurant. We had a restaurant on 77th and First Avenue back in ’73, and Junior was a wise guy. He used to, for people that went to the bathroom, they used to pay tribute to take a leak, But, but he was a true wise guy. But then he moved to L.A. and he figured crime does not pay, being in the joint back and forth, and he became an actor. But he was a sweetheart.
Hey, it worked out for him.
I know we're pressed for time, but I have another question I'd love to ask you. How did you get into that industry? How did you start running an adult entertainment establishment?
I met Dean in Miami when he first opened up the club in '99, and we just hit it off,
And he's the best, man, that guy.
Dean's the best. Dean is.
I've met him several times. I always enjoy hanging.
Everyone loves Dean. He's one of the most hospitable individuals you'll ever meet. And he had a way, you would never think he was an adult club owner. When I met him, he had hair down to here. He looked like one of the Beach Boys. Yeah. Good looking, good shape and stuff. And it just didn't this guy owns a strip club, But he was always personable, and people in Miami loved Dean. He was the type of guy, when he'd come in the club, no one would have a check.
Now, back in the beginning, it was Solid Gold, correct? Before the
Yes, I'm sorry. It was correct? Solid Gold.
When you started working there.
Yes.
Solid Gold.
Solid Gold. But Dean is probably the most. I love the guy, not because I work for him, but I love him because of he's married to a great lady, and he just takes pride in what he does. He takes care of his staff. He makes sure that the club is run perfectly. And it's about, when you run an adult club, you want people to be a guest. We don't treat them like a customer. They come into the club. We make sure they're happy. That's it's the way I want to be treated if I go into a club. And
is there any way, we really appreciate you coming on, by the way. I really do. I thank you. You're my man. You know that. Any way they can hook up somehow to get the Dean's Gold? Is there a website, or is there something you could give some information to the audience?
It's the address is 2355 North Miami Beach.
Write this down.
And it's in North Miami Beach.
He's coming tonight.
He's coming tonight. Sunny Isles.
We got the big kahuna shooting down there.
Hey, listen, last night I had 68 beautiful women.
Wow.
So I'll give you 60 of them, okay?
60, huh?
There you go.
I don't think you can handle one.
But the beauty is they're from all over the world, for real.
All right.
From literally all gorgeous. If they're not all gorgeous, I want you to give me a beat.
Does Dean have a you guys have a website? Throw out the website.
Yeah. It's deansgold.com.
All right.
.com.
There you go.
Yes.
Charlie, I thank you so much, man.
Really?
I really appreciate
everyone, thank you.
Thank you.
And,
stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you.
I'll see you at the racetrack. Pick me some winners. The Derby's coming. I'm going to count on you.
All right, I'll give you the winner for the Derby.
You already told me. You told me earlier. I love it.
All right, got to keep it under wraps.
All right.
Everyone, be well. I'll see you at Dean's Gold.
There you go. Love it. Can't get a better plug than that, can you? Wow, that was great. Unbelievable. I really, my man. I've known him a long time. Great guy. Him and I've, been at the racetracks, doing all kinds of stuff over the years. Good man.
Tough act to follow now, huh?
I don't know. I
Yeah, everything else is boring.
Really?
After
I mean,
this.
we're going to talk
about some hockey
Well,
playoffs.
I think the Celtics are going to win the NBA playoffs now. Oh,
I think
I'm still thinking about those 68.
I think Ben's going to have to do a lot of bleeping on that.
No, I want to keep it, man. I
You wanna
want
keep it?
Hey, listen,
All natural.
This is real stuff, though.
All right. Well, listen, let's just do a short recap. I mean, we love sports, and we're here. We got NHL hockey starting on Saturday, full boards of games coming up. We got the NBA playoffs starting. We don't have to get into picks or anything right now on this show. We can start it next week when they're really in the flow of it more. But any early indications who you might...
Yeah, I do have a couple series picks. I want to throw them out there. The Avalanche are playing the Jets. The Jets are plus 115 for the series. The Avalanche won the cup a couple of years ago. They're not really the same team they used to be. The Jets beat them all 3 times they played each other this season. I like a little dog sprinkle on that Jets game. They have a better goalie. They have the second best defense in the league. So I'm on the Jets. And
Winnipeg,
I'm also
huh?
Winnipeg Jets. Yes, sir.
They're playing good.
And that's my pick for the West. As far as those go, I'll keep it brief. I have more, but I'll keep it brief. And then for the East, how do you not go with the Florida Panthers against the Lightning? I can't wait. We're having Serena from the Cats and Bolts show on.
She will be
next
on
week.
Next week, and she's an authority, Canadian born and bred, and she's going to
I
break everything
thought we were the authorities. What's going on here?
And the Cats are playing the Bolts. That's the coolest part about it. So they have a lot going on for their show.
That's going to be interesting. The
But
state of Florida rivalry.
This is a stars align moment. I'm actually picking the Panthers, and not just because they're my home team, but I'm picking them to win it all. They're deeper than last year. They're healthier than last year. They're playing a different type of hockey. It's not the run and gun. It's defensive. It's strong. The Lightning are a good team, but I'm on the Panthers. The Panthers, I just want to throw this out there. They have 2 players, Barkov and Forsling, very good defensive players. They've spent 450 minutes on the ice at the same time, 5 versus 5. 9 goals in those 450 minutes.
I'm looking at these matchups for the NHL players. You got 16 teams in there. I'll tell you that you got 10 of them look solid. I mean, it's not going to be easy this year to win that cup.
It's going to be a great
You
series.
got some really good teams.
I
in there.
just wanted to throw out an NBA prediction.
Oh, you're jumping on me now.
Well, back up the truck, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's not going to be a cheap price. The Nuggets beat the Lakers. There's no way the Lakers are going to be able to play with the Nuggets.
In game 1 or the series?
The series. They
Oh.
barely got through by the Pelicans. Back up the truck.
I don't
Nuggets
know,
to
man.
win the series.
Lakers are
I
playing.
think that's an obvious one. I mean,
Well,
that's got to be like minus what, 400?
It's not going to be cheap, but the Lakers might win one game. But I think that the
Oh, no,
Nuggets-
I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
It's a lot of juice.
it's
But yeah.
it's a lot of juice.
I mean, the NBA playoffs look about as chalky can be unless something happens. The Celtics should roll. I mean, all the key teams. The Celtics should get to the finals. I mean, Denver, unless someone can upset them, and they could be upset, maybe, could get the pressure on them of trying to repeat. But, it looks chalky. It looks chalky right now. I'm going to make my picks next week on the show because obviously we wanted to give Charlie. I thought that was a lot more interesting than just giving away some picks. But we will have some games coming up next week. We're going to break down NHL. We're going to break down baseball. We're going to break down, obviously, NBA. So we're going to be back to our regular routine, guys, next week for sure. You want to close it out with anything, and we'll wrap it up? Because, by the way, just to let you know, we're kind of playing against the weather elements in the studio today. As we're speaking,
no air
the
here.
air conditioning went down. So I hope I didn't, perspirate too much.
I dropped 10 pounds in the last 40 minutes.
But Mark gave us Mark, the owner of the studio, gave us some ice to sit on. So
Yeah, we're
I'm
looking
keeping
good.
myself nice and fresh right now.
Keep you on ice.
He's keeping me on the ice. Anything you want to add, or you want to just tell everyone where they can find
Yeah,
you, get your
just
free picks, because you're rolling still.
Yeah, we are. So we've never done this before. We are in this much time. So 4 months, we're 86, 36, and 3 on our free picks. That's 70% over 123 games.
How are you making any money then if you're winning so many
That's
games
the
for
problem. The free games
Better
are
start
doing
losing some.
The free games are doing just as good as the paid games, and it's like, well, why do we got to pay you, Teddy, if your free games are doing as good?
free? But do you explain to them the reason why?
I do, and if you were
Okay.
betting $1,000 on our free games this year, you'd be up about
40,000?
38 to 42,000, depending on where you got the juice on some of those games.
Oh.
Well, tell them where they can find you so they can
So
get more
you
of
can
these
get
winners.
those free games at thesportsprofits.com. You go to our YouTube, youtube.com/@thesportsprofits, and then you can go to our Instagram, _profits_pick. We set it up so that you have to be everywhere to get everything. Some people that just watch the YouTube, they're not going to get all the games, and some people that just follow the Instagram are going to get all the games. So follow everything.
Let me tell you something. When you got a record like that, find them, because it's not easy to do that. All right, here he is. I don't know anybody that does more content than Steven Spielberg on a daily basis out there than the Big Kahuna.
He gets paid a little more than me.
Wait, listen. You know what? Maybe one day he'll be working for
Yeah,
you.
all right.
How do they find you? How do they get the free plays, all the telegrams, all the things you're doing?
Yeah, OSB. We put out a lot of free stuff, people. I mean, my soccer's been on fire, but Instagram, OSB_sports, YouTube, OSB-sports, the website, onlinesportsbet.com. But we're going to have this show up, people, on Spotify, Apple. I'm going to be putting a lot of clips up on
You're going to have to do a lot of beeping out.
Well,
bleeps.
no, I'm just going to go with it. This was real stuff. This
All right.
was real stuff. So, yeah, we're looking forward to maybe we'll have Charlie back in the future. Who knows?
That's it. All right, guys. It was a great show. I really appreciate Charlie coming on the show because he has been getting a ton of interviews offered to him, and he even drove all the way up here, which is cool. It's over an hour or so drive each way to do our show for us as a favor to me, which I appreciate. And I am Scott Matthews. I host this great show, the OSB Sports Podcast, each and every week. And you can find me on TikTok, SMPicks, Picks. We have been winning. We have been rolling our free picks, our bonus plays, our private service, you name it. Check it all out. And on Instagram, SM Sports Picks, Picks. We will be back here next week. The show, guys, is on all podcast forums. Remember that, all of them. I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking Apple. I'm talking YouTube. I'm talking all our personal TikTok and Instagram channels between all of us here on the panel. You guys have a great day. We'll be back here next week. Be safe.